Welcome back to the Stanford Cardinal Dynasty, where we are into our third game here, Season 3, back at home as we host Wyoming. And while there's been plenty of good to start this season, we are coming off a bad game, which was our home opener against Liberty. They were ranked, and they just somehow made the plays. 38-21, scoring 21 points in the fourth quarter. Liberty took that one away. But as for our opponents today, they're coming off an even more embarrassing performance against North Texas that opened their season. 56-6, no touchdowns were scored by our opponent. Their starting quarterback in Caden Anderson, the redshirt junior, threw 3 interceptions, only completing 39% of his throws. Really, their best player was Darius McIver, the running back, who had 8 carries. He averaged 5 yards per carry, but they were down too much to let him rumble. And we've got to shout out James Butt, the redshirt freshman here for Wyoming, with the best EA name we have seen so far. He did pick up a sack and was one of the leaders for their defense. Now, while they clearly didn't have a good first game, this roster is much better than the roster that we faced against Hawaii to open up our season. Hawaii played a close game against us. And perhaps for Anderson, he needs to find his bounce back game before the Cowboys go with the senior quarterback in Philip Rush. So with the stage set, it's time to get this one underway as Wyoming has the opening kick, and it is a pretty good one. Joshua will take the touchback. So the offense will head out starting at the 25. The running game has been the most efficient that we have seen throughout our limited time in this series. 2 years, 2 games. As we get the third game underway, it's Irvin down the middle. He coughs it up, but quickly jumping on it was Chico Colt. That could have been a really disappointing start here for the Cardinal offense. Luckily, not a turnover, just goes as a loss of 2. As they look for a pass, or Brown, he will shake one tackle, shake him twice. Gonna pick up a gain of around 14. It was the running success of Brown in week 0 that I think really helped out the Cardinal offense. We did not see much of it last week, and perhaps that was the reason the offense was struggling. As Parrish takes the handoff here, good ground and pound work. He ends up picking up a gain of 9, leaving 3rd and 1. Montreal Dog, the freshman, checks in at running back, and that's where they go. Not giving him the first down. They mark him inches shy. But Coach Barrington will send the offense back out. All 3 running backs back there as Dog takes it from the fullback spot, and he picks it up that time. Like the early aggressive play there from Coach Barrington, getting his team into plus territory here at the 45, going back to a spread look. Zig from the left-hand side, not slipping underneath Irvin. It's actually broken up. The Cardinal receiving group has struggled with drop passes to start this season, that being another one to add to their column. Across the middle, here goes Bachmeyer with a bunch of space down the seam. Not able to put the juke on the corner, but down inside the red zone. He's been an interesting receiver here for the Cardinal. He hasn't really brought in a massive amounts of receptions, but he makes some big plays. He's good for at least 1, maybe 2 per game. As Brown barely gets that one out. Looks like they were yet again trying to get that one to Bachmeyer. Changing up the look here, Parrish in at running back. He takes the handoff, and he will fall forward with a gain of 5. And it seems like out the gate, Parrish has taken over that number 1 running back role. Here goes Borden, though, with a quick slant touchdown. A really smooth drive there after play 1 nearly ended the drive for the Cardinal. They get on the board, make it 7-0. Now, at the beginning of the season, Coach Barrington talked about all the talent on this team, and if players were not performing, there would be changes. As the defense gets set up here to start their first drive, we will see some changes being made here. The young corner, the freshman in Asher, is out at quarterback 1. Instead, Frausto Ramos takes over that spot. Those 2 change, and a really good stop from Rico Cote on play 1. 2nd and 10, and a sack coming from the left-hand side. There is the second player we wanted to talk about. Another freshman in Sony Fotu. He's come in to replace Nelson at that right end spot, and it took him just 2 plays to get back there. Looking for a shot across the middle and finding a nice pass. It's those little glimpses from Anderson that is keeping him in the lineup. They beat the slot corner in Morris. Going with the handoff, and Rico Cote there again. There was a lot of hype around him coming off a really strong rookie year, or true freshman year, I should say. He was a little slow out the gate this year, but 2 big plays, a nice stop there on second, brings us to a 3rd and 5. As they'll look downfield, and Frausto Ramos with a diving breakup. That is a stop by your defense. Overall, a strong start here from the Cardinal. Their offense can take over at the 27. Montrell Dog, the running back, as he looks for the right side cut. Of all the running backs, he hasn't averaged the most amount of yards, about 5 or so. The other running backs closer to 7. Under pressure, Brown is sacked. I believe they just had an unaccounted for edge rusher there. 3rd and 16. Bunch go to left-hand side, Bachmeier to the right. As Borden maybe had a step, the ball is too far downfield, and a quick stop from the Cowboy defense. So after trading possessions, it's now the Wyoming Cowboys up to the 39. A better field position for them, and a good stop again, Ramos. Now, Coach Barrington did say the reason for the change really came down to the press ability of the 2 corners, as Asher didn't show any signs of being able to do that, as we do end the first quarter here. But with that being said, Coach Barrington does still believe in the talent of Asher, which is why he still has that opportunity at cornerback 2, setting up the screen. They've got the running back to the outside. Asher with the tackle comes up about half a yard shy of getting the stop. So a 1st and 10, about half a yard shy of the midfield line. Spinning across the middle and powering through a gain of 3. Well, they weren't able to get McIver really going in their first game. They're trying to get him set up here early on in this one, though. Tafiti with a sack, well outdoing his stat total from last year, and we're just 3 games in. That's now a sack from both sides of the line here. A 3rd and long, a wide open. Asher just dove away from 23, and he's into the end zone. Maybe there is cause of more concern here for Asher as Merritt levels this game. I'm sure we'll end up seeing if Coach Barrington decides to make any more changes at that group. But now the offense, they need to answer. Starting at the 18, it's Parrish, the running back, who stretches it to the outside. Not able to get the juke in, picks up 4. He does seem to be the more steady running back, but it's the open field moves that he has lacked so far. 2nd and 6, Haddad comes in motion as they go outside to Buck on the flat release. That's going to be a 1st down and about a gain of 12. The Cardinal definitely utilizing the more athleticism that they have with Buck at tight end in comparison to McCoy, as they go with Haddad here on the jet sweep. He picks up 2. He's one of those players who was expected to see a little bit of a larger role. He's had a hard time carving that out to start the year. We'll see how much of that changes as it's dropped by Buck. Was thrown into tight coverage, but expect him to make the play. Now Brown has a 3rd and 8 here with a bunch going to the right-hand side. Borden lone to the left. Looking for a pass. He's got to just get this one out under pressure, and it's dropped by Borden. Will end up being a punt. So after a really good offensive start, first drive ending in points, offense really hasn't moved the ball much, and now an end around. Sony Fotu gets shaken off. Will end up being a gain of 5 for Merritt, who had the touchdown the previous drive. One positive you could try to get from that, though, is that Fotu read it. He just couldn't quite make the play. And squeezing it in, Anderson finds his receiver downfield. For a quarterback who couldn't even break 40% completion in his first game, he's looking a lot better in this one. With about halfway through the second quarter, they hand it off. McIvers, he finds some space, and he's got the 1st. And I do suppose that is fitting for how the Cardinal have played each of their games so far this year, keeping everything tight. Tafiti jumps a little early, no call. They swing it out to McIvers. Good tackle that time from Asher. We spend a lot of time harping on the bad plays And you got a freshman out there playing. You need to try to boost that confidence when he does do something good. As Camp gets the tackle on the outside, Rico Cote there to help. And once again, this Cardinal have a good opportunity here with a 3rd and 11. As they do find their tight end, rally, dragging him down with a 4th and 3. Expect the field goal unit then to head on out. For Wyoming, this is a chance to take a lead. Kicking this one out to 34, a 44-yarder, and he pushes it to the right. He never quite got it on target. He had plenty of power, but for the Cardinal, they escape without giving up any points. Now we just need the offense to capitalize. Starting with Parrish, we don't get the double to backer. We have the double, but the line just never got to that second level. As we get through the 2-minute warning here, no gain on first. Looking for slants here on second, or Brown will just end up scrambling here, weaving and picking up a nice gain. He's definitely showed that he is a dual threat quarterback despite the lack of speed that was talked about to the start of the season. Looking for Haddad downfield, sideline, grab, denied. They've definitely tried a few times to try to get the speed of Haddad downfield. They just quite haven't been able to hook up with him yet. And a fumble scooped up by Wyoming. Brown tried to scramble. He didn't secure the ball. And now Wyoming has yet again another chance to take a lead. They come out with an empty set. 1:38 left before halftime. And here comes the pass rush to Feedy, though they might also split that with Fotu. So after getting next to no rush from that right-hand side of the defensive line, left side of the offensive line, they're already seeing it. Big impact here from the freshman and a pass off the mark from Anderson. All they've managed so far in this drive is to lose yards. 3rd and 18 with a gifted possession. They hand it off. McIvers is denied. A timeout called by the Cardinal. They'll get the ball back about minute 20. They're going to have a long field in front of them, starting at their own 12. As Brown, he's dropping back, letting things open up. Borden couldn't find it. Was tight coverage, but eventually you got to have your guys make the plays. Empty set here for Brown. As he'll go with a dump off across the middle. Buck will pick up a few yards, 3rd and 4. They're going to go a little bit hurry up here. Sticking with that same spread look. They go with the receiver screen. It's actually to Parrish. And they say he doesn't have it. 4th and 1. And a very interesting call here from Coach Barrington. He sends the unit out there barely outside their own 20. Hard count. 2 guys move. I think they might have got Pale at right guard first. So yet again, dropped passes really killed the drive there for the Cardinal offense. And yet again, Wyoming with another opportunity here. Pass to the outside, broken up by Frausto Ramos. So far, it really was a great choice from Coach Barrington to make that change. Finally getting some broken up passes. They go back to the outside. Diving miss there from Camp. But as the player heads out of bounds, I like the effort. With a 3rd and 4. Here comes Fotu with a second sack fumble. It's scooped up by Ivers. They blow the whistle earlier. It looked like Ivers also fumbled. Well, that's where this team sends it to half. Really good performances from the changes that we saw with Frausto Ramos and Fotu. Unfortunately, the rest of the team still needs to pick things up a little bit, more so offensively. But we will have to wait a little bit to see if any changes were made to the offense, as it's Wyoming starting with possession. Game currently tied 7-7. Pass to the outside. Asher gives up the first. Though as it did look like they were sitting in deep coverage, not entirely his fault on that one. He was covering the deep. Just no one left underneath, as they will pass tight end Jard Free Morris. Defense for the most part has played a really good game. Though we might need a little bit more from them here. Maybe a touchdown, perhaps. Pass downfield and too high. Though it did look like Frausto Ramos was ready for it. 3rd and 10 here. For Wyoming, they will look to pass. And Tafiti trying to work around the edge here. He's blocked up. They eventually check down, and the tight end drops it. He didn't want the smoke. It's a punt. And we might have something here. Ed Keenan with the kick 6. on the punt return. He takes it to the house. I believe that is our first punt return of this series. Comes from the true freshman receiver and, well, apparently a special teams unit. And with that, the Cardinal finally retake a lead here. The special teams has had the same amount of points scored as the offense. Defense, they're now slacking behind. Maybe find ourselves a little pick six here. A scoop and score, perhaps. Good tackle across the middle is Williams. We really haven't got to see too much from him. He only comes out here in the 4-4 package, as well as Roseboom. 2nd and 7. They go back to McIvers, and he's quickly upended. After scoring off of the punt, a chance to get the ball back here for their offense. A 3rd and 5 for the defense. Wyoming goes spread empty as they don't have enough time. Tafiti applies the hit, ball sails, and that is a punt. Now, it won't go back for back here with Ed Keenan. Offense does touch the field here, as it's Montreal Dog, the running back, finding a cutback lane. He hurdles Pale, the right guard, and rumbles forward for a big gain. We really haven't seen much from Cedric Irvin since that fumble that started this game. It's been a lot of Parrish as well as Dog, and a sack coming through Pale. Good thing is Brown was stepping up in the pocket, so it's only a loss of 2. Coming out with a spread look here, though. They do make a change. 2nd and 12. Handing this one off to Parrish. He's going to pick up the lost yardage and a nice gain altogether. Plus, on top of it, that time he actually showed off a little bit of a shimmy. Irvin does check in here, 3rd and 4. Though they do look to set up the pass. Coming across, they got the first down in Bachmeier, but a flag is down. And it looks like this one will be coming back. And for the Cardinal, they do find a streak. 3 straight games for their center with a holding call, 3rd and 14. As Haddad had separation, but no time to throw. Wyoming defense comes through. Though one could argue that it really was just Stanford shooting themselves in the foot yet again. 1st and 10, split backfield, though they're going to motion out McIvers. They hand it off, and they're going to rumble for gain of 2. The run defense this year for the Cardinal, much improved over last year. There was a lot wrong with the defense last year, but this is definitely a highlight so far, as they're just corralling these running backs. You also have to remember last week going up against one of the best running backs in the league, who surprisingly plays at Liberty, as this time we're getting called jumping off sides. But we were holding that running back to about 30 yards in total to about midway through the 4th quarter. The later half was shambles, as the line was there for the Cowboys. Good stop from the defense. At some point here, you got to hope the offense can start to take off here. Again, North Texas scored 50+ on this defense. Meanwhile, we've just scored 7 points offensively. Shout out again, Ed Keenan, for that punt return to give us that lead. 2nd and 8. As we go back to Parrish, he bursts through the middle, picking up the first down. Running game continuing to put in work here for the Cardinal offense. Just need a little bit more from the passing game today, as that's been a little bit slow. Bachmeier was open, but the ball came up short. It's picked by Bell as he looks for a return down to the 32. Just a consistent problem here for the Cardinal quarterbacks. They've got to keep that ball high here. 1st and 10 as they go play fake. Irvin with the sack. Richardson joins it late. But Coach Bearington had been harping on this defense about being a little bit more consistent throughout these games. They've been that way today. As they go with the screen, Rico coat all over it. It really has been this defense keeping us well into this game. 3rd and 15. They will look for a shot downfield as Camp gets the pick. And he's got green grass in front of him. He's trying to outrun the tight end down the sideline. 10-5, stumbling, but he tight ropes it. It's a pick 6 for your starting strong safety in Donald Camp. And with that, we've hit the trifecta. A touchdown for the offense, defense, and special teams. Now up 21-7, Wyoming. Back out on offense, they fake the jet sweep. McIvers spins off of 1 and picks up 4. And that's where we head to the fourth quarter. A strong third there defensively. Offense still struggling, but that special teams unit really came in clutch. Defense, though, they're the MVP. And we just got to look for them to close this one out strong. A 2nd and 6 is where we begin the fourth. Anderson at quarterback, as he will look for a throw, finding the dump off and getting the first down, 82. That is the junior receiver in Brantley. With a 1st and 10, just by the 30. Anderson, he's got his receiver again in motion, faking that jet sweep, looking for the pass off of it, getting it back to the outside. Merritt gets the catch, slips 2 tackles, and picks up 7. He also has the only 7 points for the Cowboys on the day. Now needing 3 here for the first, and nearly getting a sack, though complete to the tight end. That gives Anderson just over 50% complete. A heck of a throw there under duress. As they go McIvers, he bounces it to the outside and picks up 2. Obviously, we've seen that their running game has been the more successful of the group. But down 2 scores here in the fourth. Feel like you got to start passing a little bit more here. He's got time, and he finds his tight end. Richardson just couldn't keep up. And for the first time in what feels like a long time, the Cowboys are inside the 35 here. Though obviously they need to get inside the red zone. Ivers on the stretch and upended Frausto Ramos. Really love the leadership we've seen from him in this game. Given that bigger opportunity, he's taken advantage of it. Looking for another pass, and 2 players whiffed on it. Morris eventually gets the tackle. He was one who definitely should have had a pick. Hate to keep harping on him, but Asher took a bad angle on it as well. 1st and goal, Wyoming. As they'll look to go McIvers. Rico Cote slows him down, get him down to about the 5. Outside of a little stumble on that play, Cote has done a really good job of reading that running game. With a 2nd and goal, they have motion from the receiver. They do hand it off, and sitting there is Asher. He makes the play that time, flexes on him. Again, if we could build a little bit of that confidence, perhaps we'll see him start to make some bigger plays. Coach Barrington knows that there's talent there. He just might need to see a little bit more development as the tight end can't stay in bounds. 4th and goal. Offense will stay on out. With a tight shotgun look here, they really got to find a touchdown. About 4 minutes left in this game. Protecting the tight end here is Cote. They get it to the outside, but it's the other tight end who finds the end zone. Wyoming makes this a 1-score game. But with 3:43 left, can they continue making plays to give themselves a chance to tie? Offensively, we know what we got to do here. Let's drain some clock as Irvin finally gets another carry here. It was only his 3rd of the night. He picks up 8. Montreal Dog checks in the next play as it's ground and pound game, picking up the first down. Unfortunately, though, as Brown was barking out some changes to the play, offense jumps thereafter. So a 1st and 15. Irvin, he finds a lane again, though can't quite read it. And we'll head inside the 2-minute warning. Could have been a big play there. Instead, we got a 2nd and 12. Though it doesn't look like Brown likes the formation here, so he's making a change. As they have a spread look here. They go with Buck underneath. He hasn't had that many plays today, but he makes it a very manageable 3rd with a timeout coming in from the Cowboys. They've got 2 left. We've got a 3rd and 3 here. Bunch goes to the right-hand side, Borden to the left. Hard count, no one jumps. They bring the blitz. We float it over top, and there goes Bachmeier. Slips 1, tries the spin move, gets shoved down. That's a massive 1st down here for the Cardinal. Leaving just 1 left here for the Cowboys. With a 1:48, Montreal Dog stuffed in the gap. But now no way for the Cowboys to stop this clock. 2nd and 11, Borden in motion. He's going to take the jet sweep. He's got a lead block, and will pick up about a gain of 4. And now needing 7 here. 3rd down, snapping that ball with about no time on the play clock. Montreal Dog barely gets back to the line here. They will let the clock run before punting. With 15 seconds left, Wyoming with no timeouts. They got to find the end zone. Anderson here, he's got time in the pocket aplenty, though as I say that, Ume, he forces the fumble to Feedy, scoops it, and the defense is your highest scoring unit of this game. They could have tied this one as well with the total score from Wyoming. 14 points on defense. Ume with the sack, fumble, Tafiti, scoop, and score. That was one heck of a way to finish this game off. 28-14, the touchdown there at the end does help out the score line. This game was always in favor of your home Cardinal team, but they do love to make things close. Big game from Tafiti, 5 tackles, 3 sacks, and the touchdown. One of those sacks did come with the following play as they tried yet another Hail Mary attempt. Camp with the other defensive touchdown. Keenan with the punt, 6. Offense, that is a group that we've still got to sort out, but the running game is looking very promising here and a 2-1 start. And it's only fitting that with that performance, Tafiti does earn your Pac-12 Defensive Player of the Week. And also fitting that it also doubles as the National Defensive Player of the Week. What a game for your senior left end. Well, with that good news, do have a little bit of some bad news as well. Alex Camarda does end up committing to Oregon. He was one of several players who we were competing with Oregon. He ended up going on a visit this week, and it was just too good for him to deny. So we are going to miss out on the right end run stopper. But we are still on top here for 4 of the 5 stars we're going after. Enrique Heath, he really got a good pitch, it looks like, from Boise from last week. So let's check in on him. And well, it just looks like we didn't choose the right motivations for him. Took a guess, we missed out on it. So we're going to have to make some adjustments there, which is, I guess, a good thing why we now have some more points. So adjusting his hard sell, proximity to home is important for him. Unfortunately, that's the one that we know. But not that many other ones left. Brand exposure, championship contender, and conference prestige all are good mixes for us. But it looks like the one we should have went with was conference spotlight here, which gives us championship contender, conference prestige, and proximity to home. So we'll slot that in, and to help us try to make up for that gap that we now have, we're going to additionally slide 25 more hours his way. And with all that, that should help get us into range there. Additionally, since we are down, let's schedule as soon as we can a visit against Notre Dame week 6. That could be a really big one, so let's go with that. Proximity to home, all of them are going to be lower, so yeah, let's go proximity to home for that, which leaves us with 65 more points. We'd like to get all of these 5 stars in as soon as possible because they are the primary guys we're going after here. So let's slot him in here. We could do it week 5. So let's do that, and it looks like playing style will be our best option here. So he will attend a practice. Right here with Damian Hamrick, an outside linebacker, a run stopper, good size at 6'2", 253. Does he have some speed to his game? 85 speed with that size, yeah, is actually really good. The motivations do look really good, so time to get to work. We were soft selling. Let's switch that to a hard sell, and then we could tack on 5 extra points. So getting that all added is all of our points. Again, we were close with that other guy, but if we're down to anyone else, that's where we need to end up boosting points. Going through the rest of these guys, we are on the top. So it was a good adjustment then. We missed out on one. I would hate to miss out on another defensive player going to Oregon. But next time out, we have another chance to upset Utah. We did it last year. I want to say they were ranked 18th. I could be wrong on that. I know we definitely played someone who was 18th, but also like 23 is ringing in the back of my head. Either way, we upset them in a low-scoring game last time. We have another chance to do the same as we are still playing at home. Make sure you don't miss it. Hit that bell icon on the bottom right or scroll down, hit the sub button, and definitely tap that bell icon so you're notified when these videos go live. This series every single Monday, Wednesday, Friday, States Only Challenge every Tuesday, Thursday, and we have a chance as we open up Pac-12 football next episode to have our first win streak on the season.